You join us here in France and we're at the stunning Carpanium, and this is Dad's PB Common, £52, 15 ounces. What a carp.
Well happy, well happy.
Hope you enjoyed the video.
Woohoo.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So you'll see from the title it's a little bit different this time, and we're heading to France. So I've not done a French video before, so thought I'd give it a go. So you can see we've got Dad and we've got Ralphie back here somewhere. He's hiding behind the seat. So yeah, and we're on the Euro tunnel. So we've not long got on. We've only been on here sort of 5-10 minutes, and yeah, we'll be there in 20 minutes, and we've got a 3-hour drive the other side. So we're going to a place called Carpanium. It's a little bit different for us. We left it late with the booking, so we've like I say, going to a French run place that we found on Fisherman's Holidays. Yeah, Fisherman's Holidays website. 37 acre pit with around 600 fish in there. I think there's 14 swims, fish to sort of low 60s. I think there's quite a few good ones in there. Average size over 30 pound. So yeah, it looks really nice. Weather looks really good for the week ahead. Not so much for fishing, but yeah, 20 odd degrees for the first week of October. It's not too bad. So yeah, we'll catch up when we get there. Like I say, never seen the place before. There's very little information about it as well, which is kind of why I wanted to do a video. When I was kind of booking it, I went off the Facebook page and their web page, but there was very little on YouTube, and there was literally nothing in English. It was all kind of French and German, like the few videos that I found. So this may be the first English video at Carpanium out there on YouTube. So yeah, we'll catch up with you when we're at the lake. Obviously Saturday first afternoon, we've got to get 6 rods out, get set up. We're not going to get there till 2 p.m. It's dark at like 7, half 7, so it's going to be a bit of a rush. We'll do a little bit of filming if we can. If not, we'll probably catch up with you tomorrow on Sunday. So yeah, hopefully it's a good week, and we will see you soon. Catch you in a bit. So we've just got here, just pulled up at the gates and drove round to the swim. So it took 3.5 hours from Calais, so it wasn't a terrible journey, to be fair. Pretty straightforward, just a couple of tolls along the way, about 40 euros I think it was in total, 35 euros. So yeah, we've just pulled up. So here we are, swim 14. So this is our plot for the week. So yeah, it's all pretty manicured. The place is lovely, to be fair. All the grass is nice and cut, and big trees all around it. So yeah, we've now got the mammoth task of emptying the car. So how's that for an effort? 2 people's gear, rods, bed chairs, bait, unhooking mats, the lot, in a Vauxhall Astra. So yeah, we've got to unpack all that and come and set up. So I'll just bring you down here, just give you a quick view of where we're fishing. And I said that there was no English YouTube videos about this place. As we was driving down here, I told my dad to search on YouTube just to have a little look, because he hadn't seen any of them. And lo and behold, there's actually an English YouTube video shot maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago in this very swim. A couple of English blokes. And yeah, they had a tough week by the looks of it. I think they had 5 between them, and then a load of grasses, and I say a load of grasses, 3 or 4 grasses, a sturgeon and some bream. But yeah, I think it was pretty tough going. But yeah, so it won't be the first English YouTube video on this place, but it might be the second. So yeah, really nice place. Water looks a little bit low, pretty typical of France this time of year after the summer. But, yeah, so we've somehow got to get everything all set up. Got a nice little picnic bench there to all our food on. So yeah, very social, and obviously fighting against the time. We've got marker poles out in the lake out there. I haven't got a clue where we fish in, all the spots, etc. So hopefully the owner will be round in a bit and give us a bit of advice so we can get going for tonight. But yeah, I'll probably catch up with you tomorrow. Obviously it's going to be chaos the next few hours. So yeah, speak to you in a bit. So it's Sunday evening now, so I just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. Yesterday was as hectic as expected, getting all the rods out and getting all sorted, racing against the light, but we did manage to do it and get all the rods out relatively well for a first night, really. Nothing's happened on the fish front or nothing to any note anyway. I had a bream in the night, about £7, and Dad had a grass carp about £22–24 this morning. But yeah, other than that, nothing. We had a couple of like aborted takes, which I think were probably grass carp as well this morning, but no proper carp. So yeah, I haven't really bothered picking up the camera. Just trying to enjoy the first day of the holiday, really. So yeah, I thought I'd just give you a bit of an update, show you where we're fishing, what we're doing, just so you can see a little bit more of the lake. Yeah, and like I say, I'm not going to kind of fill the vlog with a load of waffle. If we catch stuff, I'll let you know, and if not, I won't. So yeah, I'm just going to spin you around and show you the lake a little bit better. Okay, so this is our swim, peg 14. You'll see there's nobody else on the far bank. In fact, there's nobody else on the lake at all. It's quite a, like I said, a little bit of a different setup here. It's basically a day ticket lake that takes week bookings. So I think it's mostly French and German anglers that fish it, kind of on a weekend basis, and come and do sort of 48 hours and whatever in the week. But yeah, I think we've got the lake to ourselves tonight, which is pretty cool. We're the only ones here for a week anyway. So yeah, basically you'll see there's some markers out in the lake. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that, but just over here, point down here, there's one over there, and there's another one just there. There's one that's really hard to see over here, a black one, and then there's one just over here, okay? And they basically give our boundaries to the swim. So we've got loads and loads of water, and Alex the bailiff came around and gave us some notes and some points on where to fish, and he recommended going right out into the middle and finding some spots out there. So yeah, basically yesterday we went out into the boat, took a leading rod out there and just had a little bit of a thump around out there, found some spots. It was really easy to do, to be fair. It was nice and clean. And as a starting point, basically, how well you can see that, basically we've got one of my rods and one of Dad's rods all the way across the swim, okay? Instead of having one side, one the other, and potentially one person catching and one person not, we're basically sharing a spot. So this marker over here, where are we? Here, we've got two rods, like literally sort of 6 foot apart, taken out with the bait boat, and all I've done is took the marker float out in the bait boat, dropped it out there, popped it up, gone out in the rowing boat, baited up sort of 2 kilo bait, just a bit of a mix spread all over the spot, and I've done the same for that one out there. So over here we've got a little bit something different. My left-hand rod, or the left-hand rod of these two, which is mine, is fished on the snag over there where you can see coots diving. I only moved that there this afternoon, and Dad's rod is out towards the house, which is kind of like here. Again, recommended by Alex. It's quite a little bit deeper there. It's about 9 foot, but it's rock hard. And he did have a bit of a funny take off that this morning. So yeah, we've got those two rods spread out a little bit, and those are the only two that we haven't done this afternoon. So I'm not really sure whether we're going to keep them there or we're going to kind of move them around a little bit. Not sure. But these two spots out here, hopefully going to be our main 2 spots for the week. And yeah, hopefully some proper carp move into them soon. So nice and simple. We're just using wafters, fake corn, and just baiting up with a little bit of everything, a little bit of hemp, a little bit of corn, boilies, tigers. Yeah, seeing what happens. But yeah, if we keep getting nuisance fish, then we might have to add a bit more boilie in and a little bit less particle. But yeah, it's a stunning lake, as you can see. You know, really, really pretty. So yeah, we're enjoying it. That's up here. And Ralphie chilling out. Right, Ralph? Good boy? Yeah, so we're having a good time. But yeah, I'll let you know if anything happens. Obviously, if we do start catching, I might start talking a little bit more about the actual fishing and the rigs and all that kind of stuff. But unless we do, then I'm not going to bore you with that. So yeah, I'll catch up with you when something happens. Right, speak to you later. Morning, guys. So it's Monday morning now, and as you can see over my shoulder, the sun's just coming up. It's 8:30, and it's another beautiful morning at the stunning Carpanium. So I am in my waders, and that's because we've just photographed something pretty special. I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. Just want to take you back to last night. At about midnight, I had another bream on my corn rig, so that's the second one I've had. I thought I've had enough of this, I don't want to catch any more bream. So I changed that over to a double bottom bait, or a bottom bait and a wafter, so just like a little balanced rig. And I thought, yeah, hopefully that'll avoid the bream. Put that back out. About 2:30 in the morning, Dad had a bite, and straight away we knew it was a carp. Didn't feel very big, but it definitely didn't feel like a bream. And yeah, he ended up landing his first Carpanium carp. So I'll show you a little bit of footage of that now. Okay, here we go then. First fish of the trip, 26 pound 13. So we're on, what are we on? Sunday night?
Sunday night, Monday morning, yeah.
What was it about? What time was it, the bite?
10 to 3.
About 10 to 3, and it's yeah, 26 pounds 13 ounces. Yeah, lovely clean mirror, taken on the middle rod, boilie tip with corn. Yeah, happy day. So off the mark fairly early this time. Right, should we get a few stills and get her back? So yeah, we were chuffed to get off the mark on the second night, and such a lovely fish as well. Like I say, a nice mid-20, put up a decent account for itself, and he had that on obviously the wafter tip with corn. So yeah, first bite we had in a boilie was a carp, so that was a good sign. Not long after that, Dad had another take on his corn rig, and he had another bream as well. So all the bites on the corn have been either bream or grasses to this point. So yeah, that was that. We put the rods back out and went back to sleep. And then yeah, just before first light, I had a take on my middle rod, which was the rod next to where Dad had his carp, and that's fished with a tight clutch at like I say 130 yards, and it absolutely tore off. And I knew straight away it was a good fish. It was holding its ground and kiting round to the left. And yeah, after a long battle, I managed to net my first fish of the week, and it turned out to be an absolute cracker. So yeah, I'll show you a little bit of footage of that now. Oh. Here we go then. My first Carpanium carp, taken just before first light on Monday morning, second night. 49 pound, 9 ounces, just shy of the magical 50. Oh, what a beast. So I had an absolute screaming take, even with a tight clutch, 130 yards, and straight away I knew it was a good fish. It was taking line and kiting. Definitely wasn't another bream. Yeah, and after a long battle, we got her in the net. So what a cracking fish. Oh, yeah, so taken on the wafter, or double actually. After I had that bream in the night, I thought, didn't want any more of those. So a single bottom bait and a single wafter. Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, I'll just spin around, just show you the other side. Oh, let's get a bit of water on her. Does that look good? Yeah?
That looks good.
Oh, what a tank. Just under 50 pound. It's actually a PB common for me. I think my old PB was about 45, so right, let's get some stills and get her back. There we go then, happy days. A PB common, just under 50 pound. It's 49.9. So yeah, I haven't seen a fish that big for a little while, so I was adamant it was like mid 50s, to be honest. So I was a bit surprised when it didn't go 50, but yeah, absolutely chuffed with that. You know, it's made my week really. Whatever happens now, you know, we've both caught one. I've caught a big one, so happy days. So yeah, we're going to have a coffee, get some breakfast on, and enjoy the day. It's going to be another hot one today. I think it's going to be 28 degrees today, which is crazy. It's the 2nd of October. When we picked this swim, obviously you have to book your swim in advance. We spoke to Alex earlier on in the year, and he recommended this swim or the swims opposite because you've got access to deeper water, with it being October, thinking you can have autumnal weather. And yeah, it's like bloody middle of July over here at the moment, but yeah, not complaining. We're going to hit repeat, get all that bait back out again this afternoon on those different spots, and yeah, hopefully pick 1 or 2 more off. So I'll catch up with you in a bit and let you know if anything else happens. See you later. So not long after I just updated the video telling you what we caught in the night and this morning, Dad's left-hander's gone. What is it, Dad?
35.1.
Yeah, just over 35 pound. So again, taken on boilie. Our first bite off a left-hand spot. We got 2 rods fished together out quite long onto a plateau. And to be honest, I was just thinking that was probably the rod that we were going to have to kind of have a look at because nothing was happening. And yeah, out the blue, mega. It's a really, really nice fish, Dad. Looks really good on here.
Happy days.
Yep, so we'll get a few stills and get her back. Well done. Okay, so you join me out in the middle of the lake, and I just thought I'd bring you out here just to kind of show you the setup. So you can see a tall marker pole there, that kind of marks halfway, and you can see just over to the right there we've got my marker float, which is the right hand spot that we're fishing. So roughly an area that Alex told us to come and have a look at. So each day what we're doing when it's really quiet, middle of the day, we're winding all the rods in, so just whipping them all in, getting fresh rigs sorted and everything, and we are getting our marker float. So we've got 2 marker floats, wrapping them up to the 2 different spots that we're fishing out in the middle, putting them in the boat and driving them out here and dropping them on the spot just as we would our rigs. Then I'm getting in the boat, heading out here and just baiting up. So the idea behind this is really, a lot of people use just bait boats on here, and the fish are probably used to being fished for with just small patches of bait. So I wanted to come up and bait up really with kind of not massive area, but like a bivvy sized area, and then drive the bait boats onto it so it's not tiny little patches. Yeah, so that's basically what we're doing. So I'm just heading out here now just to put a little bit of bait in for today. So I'm just going to do this now. This is, like I say, the right hand spot, and we haven't caught an actual carp off this yet. So all we're really doing is just topping it up. Okay, you can see I'm kind of going to spread it either side of the float. Okay, so you see it's not a tiny little area, so when the fish come across this they won't think, oh, you know, that's been dropped by a bait boat. Yeah, just spreading it either side of the float, probably 6 to 8 foot either side, something like that. And yeah, that's it, that's what we're doing, that's how we're baiting up. Like I say, once a day, middle of the day when it's nice and quiet, and then getting the rods out later with the bait boat, just driving them out, just a handful of bait in the boat. Yeah, and that's it. So it's our mix, nice and simple, a little bit of everything in there. Yeah, right, we're going to head over to the other spot, which is over there by that marker float. See that orange pole sticking up and my marker just to the left of it. So yeah, right, let's go and get that done now. Catch you later. Okay, here we go then, fish number 2, and it's beating me up, so I'm going to be quick. It's come much earlier tonight, about 10:30. I was just falling asleep actually, and single bleep, line out the clip on the middle rod, same rod as last night on the double boilies, 1 wafter, 1 bottom bait, and it's another good one. 43 pound too?
43.2.
Yeah, 43.2. Proper nice fish. I'll be honest, I thought it was a grasser. It didn't fight all the way in, just kited and kited and kited. I thought this is probably a grass carp. Popped up in the edge and I was like, bloody hell, that's a good one. So yeah, proper chuff with that. Like I say, it's actually behaving now. So yeah, we're going to get a few stills and then get her back. So yeah, hopefully there's time for more tonight. Right, let's get her down. Oh. There we go. Second one of the night. How big?
29.11.
29.11. So this is your 3rd fish.
3rd fish.
5th one between us. Again, taking on that, what was it? Double
Double.
boilie hook bait,
boilie.
the wafter and the bottom bait together.
Yep.
Getting rid of all the corn and whatever. Starting to get amongst the carp and hopefully some less bream. So yeah, happy days.
Happy days.
Get a few photos and get her back.
Yep.
Well done. Right, let's get down then. Morning guys, so you joined me here on a pretty chilly Wednesday morning. So temperatures certainly dropped last night. You can even see my breath this morning, so it does feel a little bit more autumnal, but as you can see over here, sun's coming up. It's going to be 20 odd degrees again today, I think. So yeah, back to slightly warmer weather as that sun comes up. So yeah, I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an update as to what we've been doing, what happened yesterday. So we've been baiting those two main spots out in the middle, keeping the bait going in on them, and one of those spots, the middle spot, which is like 7 foot and kind of clay, silt, but like really firm, but fishing leg clips on it, but it's not gravel, and that's done 4 of the fish. So I'm kind of thinking we need to be catching from more areas than just that one spot. So it's particularly the left side of the swim. The right hand spot hadn't done a carp yet, done plenty of grass carp, and we potentially might have lost one the night that we had the 40 and the 20 off that spot, maybe. So yeah, I went out in the boat to have a little look around where that left hand spot was, and it's on a plateau towards the farm at 33 wraps, so about 130 yards, just over. And I just wasn't happy with it. I think if anything, it was too firm, it was too obvious. There was boulders on it quite big, you were getting a double drop, and we were also getting snagged as we were winding in sometimes off that spot. So I just felt like it wasn't the one. So basically I've moved the spot about 20 yards to the right of it, something like that. And it just goes into like this softer ground. It's almost off the side of the plateau. Similar depth, but just off the side of it. So yesterday I did exactly the same process, went out there and found a new spot. Put the marker flat out there, went out in the boat, and I give it a good hit of bait, sort of 4 kilo of bait. And that was going to have 2 rods on it, one of mine, one of Dad's. So we boated out of those last night, both of them with snowmen on, with 18mm bottom baits and 13mm pop-ups, just to try and avoid the nuisance fish really. You know, we've caught a few bream and whatnot. And yeah, it didn't take long for the action to start. I think it was about 10 o'clock, maybe just before. No, it wasn't, it was about 9 o'clock. It was earlier than that. We just had our dinner. Yeah, we sat down, had some dinner, and then yeah, the left-hand rod and the 2 rods on that new spot just pulled up tight, and yeah, we was in. Okay, welcome back. So I haven't updated the vlog since Dad's fish last night because basically nothing's happened. It's been a little bit of a different day today. We had quite a bit of rain this morning and some winds. It looked really good for fishing, but other than a grass carp, nothing really happened. So yeah, I found the new spot today. I wasn't quite happy with the one area we were fishing. I'll talk to you in a little bit more detail about that later in the video. But yeah, we've just had our dinner Tuesday evening, and I don't know what time it is, maybe about 9 o'clock, something like that. What was it?
It's 9:05.
9:05, there we go. And the new spot that I found this afternoon in the wind when I was out in the boat has just gone, and we've got ourselves a 35 pound 2 ounce mirror. So yeah, another good fish. So my first 30, obviously 2 40s to start with. And yeah, real nice fish, massive fins on it. Taken on quite a big hook bait, an 18mm bottom bait with a little 13mm pop-up on top of it. Trying to avoid the bream really. There's a few nuisance species in here, but yeah, we put about 4 kilo of bait over that spot only a few hours ago, really, maybe 5 hours ago. Dad's already had an aborted take off it, maybe a grass carp, and then yeah, first proper one off it. So nice to get another place where we can hopefully catch a few fish. So we're gonna get a few stills, get her back, and hopefully there's some more to come. Yeah, so I was well chuffed to have caught one off the new spot straight away. It's always kind of rewarding when you go out there, you have a little hunch that something isn't right. And yeah, over a fair bit of bait. I think we put that bait in at probably about 5 PM and to have the bite at sort of half 8, 7:45, something like that. yeah, so was proper chuffed with that. So ended up getting the rod back out there. Obviously got your horizons on the far margin, so yeah, fairly easy to do that. And not too long after that, Dad had a bite off that rod as well. He ended up catching I think it was like a mid-20, like a 25 pounder, something like that. We did yeah, a few shots, got a little bit of video, and then slipped that back, and then yeah, got to sleep. So yeah, you'll see behind me over here that there's one rod missing, and that's because about 20 minutes, half an hour ago, something pretty special happened, and just over here, over my left shoulder, we've got a nice carp in the sling. So that was Dad's rod, and it was the right-hand rod of the new spot, and yeah, we've got something pretty special, so I'll let you have a little look at that now. Okay, here we go then. How's that for a PB comment?
Look at that. Happy days or what?
How big?
52. 15.
52 pound, 15 ounces.
PB common.
Of mega Carpanium common.
Superb.
What a fish. So again, taking on that snowman, 18mm bottom bait, 13mm pineapple pop up on top on the new spot. Right, let's get some pictures and get her back. Well done. Yeah, so absolutely buzzing, like what a fish, like a mega common carp. So yeah, I can't tell you kind of our excitement when that went in the net. It looked huge. I mean, we're not used to catching fish this big all the time, and again we thought it was like mid 50s, upper 50s. It looked huge, but yeah, 52 pounds, 15 ounces, a new personal best common. My dad's favourite carp, a common carp, so for him to come and catch a big one like that is, yeah, absolutely chuffed off the new spot. We did have another bite, which I forgot to mention earlier on in the night, which was off the middle set of rods, you know, the rods that we've been catching fish off, and unfortunately we had a hook pull on that rod, so that only did the one bite last night. But yeah, so at least we've got two spots now that we've caught carp off. Nothing off the left-hand margin as of yet, and still nothing but grass carp off the right spot. But we feel like the week's building. We're going to keep the bait going in. We are running low on bait, so we're going to have to be fairly like sensible with the quantities we're putting in. We've gone through quite a lot with the catching the nuisance fish, but yeah, so it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful place. We've caught 5, 6, 7, 8 carp now, so 8 carp in 4 nights, so really pleased with that. 2 fish a day, some real good ones, you know, a couple of 40s in there, a 50 pounder, 30s, and obviously a few 20s as well. So yeah, happy days. Right, I'm gonna have a coffee, I'm gonna enjoy this morning and chill out in paradise. So speak to you soon. Good, there you go. Yeah, that looks nice, Dad. Right, we are the early hours of Friday morning, so it's been nearly 48 hours since we've had a bite. It's been very quiet, other than grass carp and bream and tench and the usuals, but Dad's pulled it out the bag. It's gonna go again, that's it, good, steady her down. Yeah, so this one's 36
too?
Yeah, 36 pound 2, real lovely clean fish. Yeah, it looks proper nice. So yeah, again taking on that new spot, the same spot that we caught the last 3 fish on. So yeah, this rod's been out 3 times tonight. Had a bream, then a bit of an aborted take, and it's gone again. And yeah, this time, what we're after. Right, mate. Proper nice that is. Well, nice. Right, let's get a few stills and we'll get it back. Well done. Okay, so we're Friday morning. We're a couple of hours after Dad had that 36 pounder, and my rod next to it has finally gone. Come in like a bream all the way in, and yeah, inevitably it was a grass carp. Now, we've been hooking these things in the water all week, and not really my thing, but this one's a pretty big one, so I thought it deserved to come out on the bank. Oh, okay. Is that all in shot?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so my PB grasser by an absolute country mile. I think my biggest one's 27 pound prior to this. We've weighed it in the sling at 59 pounds, but we've got to take the sling off it. Normally we'd do that before, but I honestly didn't think it was that big when we got it out. I just thought we'd have a little look at it and get a rough estimate. So it's somewhere between 55 and 56 pounds. So an absolute beast. And even though they're not the target species, and even though they are a bit of a nuisance, that's a bloody impressive fish.
Massive.
So yeah, happy days.
Massive.
Right, let's get her back. Oh. Yes! It's massive.
Right.
Oh, so a few hours have passed now since we had that big grasser this morning, and yeah, I've had another grasser and another bream on the same rod, and as you'll have just seen, I've had a bit of a boat battle. Just when I thought the time had gone and the morning was getting on a little bit, the same rod pulled up tight, and you can tell straight away it's a carp. Obviously it got me all locked up on some boulders out there, so I went out in the boat, and we got her. So exactly what I wanted, a nice big mirror. So 47 pound, 13 ounces, absolute cracker. So a bit of a two-tone pattern to her. Yeah, real nice fish. Ended up netting it from the boat, as you saw. So yeah, happy days. Real nice fish. Nice big mirror to go with the nice big common I had in early on in the week. Right, let's get a few photos. Coming in, Ralph? Right. Evening guys, so Friday evening, going into our last night now. So as you can see behind me, it's another beautiful evening. It's been a glorious week. We've had weather from 20 to 28 degrees every day. And in October, you can't complain with that. It's not been ideal for fishing at all. We'd have much preferred wind and, you know, a bit of rain and low pressure. But it's been a very nice week to spend, you know, considering the time of year. So all the rods are back out for one final time. It takes quite a bit of work, to be fair, fishing how we're fishing. You know, we're wrapping all our rods up between 31 and 33 and a half wraps. We're fishing them all out right in the middle of the pond, and we're bait boating them all out. So that takes time, you know, between us wrapping the rods up, getting the hook baits on, getting it in the boat, driving it out there. So yeah, it takes a fair bit of time. So we've got all of those out there now, sweet. I went out in the boat as well earlier, one last time, took the marker floats out, took a bucket of bait out, or a little bit of bait out over each spot. Yeah, and yeah, they're all set. So one final night, hopefully that really big one is on the cards. But if it's not, we've had a great week and we've really enjoyed ourselves. Like I say, we've had 10 fish or 10 carp. And if you'd have said that at the start of the week, we'd have snatched your hand off, considering the conditions really. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about the place. It's a stunning place. I'm sure you've seen from all the video. It's a real beautiful place. And Alex, the guy who runs it, is, I guess, probably one of the nicest blokes I've met. Fishery owners in France. He literally can't do enough for you. He's such a nice guy. I mean, like I say, fishing, he'll come and help you, tell you where the spots are and give you information on the fishing if you need it. But also anything else as well. I mean, I've got Ralphie here with me, as you'd have seen, and he has to go to the vets to get a worming tablet before we go back to the UK. He drove me to the local vets, which he didn't have to do. Yeah, and he's ordered our pizzas for us that we go pick up from the gate later. He's just a really nice bloke, and yeah, I wish him all the success with Carpanium, because he deserves it. He's put a lot of effort into this place over the last 10 years, and yeah, it really shows. So, and a little bit about the fishing, I guess. If we were to come back, which I would come back, I'd like to come back in the spring actually and have a go. So there's some real nice big mirrors and big commons in here that I'd like to catch. But what I would do differently next time is I'd bring more bait. We wasn't aware of the amount of bream and tench and grass carp in here. So I think although we've caught 10 normal carp, we've had probably 40 bites in total, including grass carp. We've caught 11 or 12 grass carp. We've caught over 10 bream and tench. We've caught a few coots, and we've also had quite a few boated takes, which we think were probably grass carp as well. So because of that, we've used a lot more bait. Even though we've only caught 10 carp, we've got through lots of bait, taking the bait boat back out. So if I was to come back again, I'd bring more bait and I'd bring more boilies, not as much particle, which yeah, kind of makes sense really, to try and avoid those nuisance species a little bit. Also with the fishing, we hired the boat, which I personally think is a massive advantage for two reasons. One, for going out and being able to bait up, otherwise you're just using a bait boat the same as everybody else. Nobody else has used a boat on here all week since we've been here. And the second reason is there's lots of snags in here, boulders. You can see from around the edge of the lake, there's kind of lumps of concrete everywhere. I assume they're in the lake as well. So you have to use a snag leader, which obviously makes sense because of how, you know, how rocky and that it is out there. But by having the boat, you're able to go out there and retrieve snagged up leads, etc. when you're winding in, which we've had to do probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times. You know, it's happened quite a few times. And if we didn't have the boat, you just have to pull for a break. So yeah, we actually haven't used a snag leader, which is quite interesting. We've used basically a snag leader material all the way through. So I've used Daiwa sensor in 25 pound, which is 0.52 diameter. It's like tow rope, and it comes in 500 yard spools, and we've put 250 yards on each spool. It's like $8.99 a spool, so it's dead cheap, and there's no knots then. So you're literally fishing a snag leader all the way through. So when you're using a boat, like, there's no need really. I don't really see the point in using a thinner line to a thicker line. You may as well use thick line all the way through. And yeah, touch wood, we've not been cut off all week, and everybody else has kind of said how they suffer cut-offs. So yeah, it's been a cracking week. Hopefully we get one more chance this evening, but if we don't, we've had enough. You know, we're really pleased with what we've caught. So yeah, I will update you either in the night, hopefully with a whacker, but if not, in the morning when we're packing up and going home. So yeah, I will catch you before we leave. Speak to you later. Morning. So it's Saturday morning now, obviously our last morning of the trip. We're going home shortly. So it was an eventful night. We ended up having 4 bites between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. So unfortunately 3 of those all came off. They all got us snagged up around the boulders out in the lakes. We felt fish on all 3 of them, but they all went solid, locked up. I had to go out in the boat, and yeah, we ended up getting everything back, but unfortunately no fish on any of those 3. But yeah, we made the effort to tie fresh rigs up and get fresh baits on. Obviously, fishing to a line clip with the bait boat, we can easily wrap the rods up, drive the boats back out and get the rods back exactly on the money, even in the dark. So we made the effort to do that, and not too long after, maybe about half an hour after, my same rod was away, and it absolutely tanked off on a tight clutch. You know, they've not been doing that, you know, and yeah, it really ripped off. And like, I was back winding to start with as soon as I picked into it, and I was thinking, bloody hell, what have I got here? And yeah, it kited all the way around, and yeah, I managed to land another mirror. So yeah, absolutely buzzing to have caught one on the last morning. So it's a real old gnarly looking one as well. So it's just down here in the sling. We're about to get her out and do the photos. So yeah, it's mega to end the trip on a on another fish, and another nice one as well. Like I say, I'll show you it in a little while. And yeah, we've still got half a chance of another bite. You'll see here we've still got 5 rods in the water, and I had that fish yesterday morning at sort of 10 a.m, so it's not over yet. You know, we potentially could get another one, but yeah, it's my 5th fish, or my 6th one if you include the massive grasser, which I am including because it was massive. Yeah, so yeah, we'll get her out and do some photos. Happy days. Okay, here we go then. Last morning fish, and what an absolute cracker. Look at the tail on it, proper gnarly old one. 38 pound, 8 ounces. So yeah, what a way to end the trip. Really, really nice carp. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. And yeah, big thank you to Carpanium. Mega place, we'll definitely be back. And yeah, if you want to get yourself over here, get on Fisherman's Holidays, check it out, get in touch with Alex, ask him a few questions. He won't do, there's nothing he won't do for you. So yeah, fish are cracking as well. So right, let's get her back. What a fish.